Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Most Motion's Wiggle With Me show. This is the live video show that's going to help you to move better than you have done in years. For those that don't know me, my name's Sarah Pitts. I work with sports and fitness club members just like you to help them fix their own injuries so you don't need to go and pay anybody else to sort things out for you. So if you're watching live, welcome along. It's always nice to have you. Make sure you get your questions, your comments, hearts, likes, thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you get that going as we go through the show, and I will do my best to answer any questions that we have at the end. So today's sponsor of the show is assessmymovement.com. If you are fed up of going to other practitioners and getting an assessment and not getting anywhere with what they offer you, or they're not offering you anything, then maybe it's time for a new take on things. But with assessmymovement.com, you don't need to wait for an appointment. All you need to do is record yourself doing the assessment video, send it to me. I will return it to you within 48 hours, Monday to Friday. You get a full report of my findings, and we also get a 30-minute coaching call to discuss your next steps, which there always will be next steps for you. So if you want a new take on stuff, then go to assessmymovement.com and I'll see if I can help you. So today's problem is triple-fold, really. Okay, we're going to do a power move today, which is looking at your IT band, which is the outside of your hip. We're going to look at your chest, your shoulder, and all into your neck, all at the same time, because we can. That's what wiggling's about, okay? Your body is capable of doing so many things all at once, and the advantage of wiggling is that we can tap into that capability, and you don't get that with foam rolling. So, without further ado, let's get on with it, and all I'm going to do is stand up, and you need a wall for this one. So, because we're going to get at the IT band, we're going to get at the IT band that's closest to the wall, okay? So, all I'm going to do is step across with this leg in front, okay? Now, it doesn't matter the direction that your feet are pointing at the moment. All we're going to do is move your hip over to one side so you can feel the stretch down the outside of your hip. Now, it's quite important that your foot remains flat on the floor, okay? So it's not pulling off like this, because that will change how it feels in your hip. All right, so try and keep your foot flat on the ground. We'll give your ankle a bit of a stretch while we're at it. We'll give the outside of your hip a little stretch too. And because we're going to target the chest and the arm and the neck and everything else, we're going to add a little bit more to this, okay? So we're just going to bob your hand on the wall. It can be whatever height you feel comfortable, okay? So it could be up here, it could be down here, it could be shoulder height, wherever's comfortable for you. So and then we're going to turn slightly away. So we're leaning towards the wall with the hip, and then away from the wall with your chest, okay? And from here, because we're going to target the neck as well, all we're going to do is drop your ear down to your shoulder. And I do mean drop your ear, I don't mean lift your shoulder to your ear, because that's cheating, okay? So we're going to drop that down, stay in this position here, and then just move your hips backwards and forwards, okay? So if I put my hand here, you can see what they're doing. I'm rotating my chest slightly away, I'm leaning my hip into the wall, and I'm just letting my head hang down to the ground, okay? This could be quite a strange position for you to be in. I'm guessing that you don't do this very often, so while I'm talking to you, my brain is like, hang on a minute, that's not straight, and it wants my head to come back to here, okay? But in order to get the stretch down the neck here, we do need to keep that lateral stretch, okay? So we're getting down the side of your neck here. You might be able to feel a bit nervy kind of stuff going off in your fingers, and that's absolutely fine. So from here, we're going to go wherever the stretch is most for you, okay? So it could be rotating more, it could be dropping your head more, it could be pushing your hip forward, backward, whatever. But we're going to stay in that position and then go slightly sideways. Okay, so now as I go, my hip is going towards the wall and away from it. And now my chest muscles are doing something totally different to what they were doing a minute ago. Okay, now it's not very often you get to stretch in this way, so your body will be quite open to moving in a new way, and sometimes you'll find exactly what it is that's restricting your body. Okay, that's what we want to be doing while we're wiggling. So all we're going to do now is just rotate the hip Now the head and the chest and everything else is coming as well, but your ankle is doing something new, your hip is doing something new, your arm is doing something new as well. And if I keep my head still, so my chest is moving but my head is not, then my neck is also doing something new just because it can. Okay? Now don't forget, with this wiggling stuff, you do need to be doing it comfortably uncomfortable as a maximum. Okay? So no bouncing, okay? No doing it too quickly or anything like that, because your body will feel like it's under threat and it will try and stop you, so it will increase that stretch reflex and then it won't let go of what the tightness is, and that's not what we're looking for. We want it to relax. I think this is lovely. Okay, so if you want to do the other side, then you just cross your feet the other way, drop your hip to one side, put your hand on the wall, rotate your chest and drop your head. Okay, and again you can go through that just front to back here and then side to side here. It doesn't matter, you can see from my fingers they're not particularly flat to the wall. Doesn't matter, whatever stretch is comfortable for you. So we're comfortably uncomfortable as a maximum, as always, okay? Not too fast, not too hard, almost like you can't be bothered really. Okay, so I have a few questions, so I'm going to just go through those now for you. So, question number 1 is, where is the best place to focus your mobility efforts? Now, if I only had to pick one place for you to keep your mobility efforts focused on, that would absolutely definitely be your hips, okay? Your hips join your upper and lower bodies together. They're the crossover point, and we do everything where we're bending at the hip, okay? So whether you're reaching down for something, whether you're squatting down, sitting down, driving, whatever it is that you're doing, you will do it with your hip bent, okay? Standing up is just about the only thing that we do without bending your hip, okay? Cycling, running, all those kind of things, they will involve your hip being bent. And if you're not too careful, the hip stays bent, and then there's all sorts of problems elsewhere, okay? So if I had to choose one particular place, then your hip would definitely be it. Front of the hip, side of the hip, inside of the hip, okay? All of it. Just focus all your efforts there and you'll make massive changes to how your body moves. So, can you keep training while you're doing your mobility stuff? Absolutely. But the one caveat to that really is if you are pain-free while you're doing it. So if you're trying to unravel a problem because you have pain, there's no point in trying to drag yourself through a training session just to be able to tick the box to say you did it, okay? If you're really struggling by the end of the training session, you didn't enjoy it, and your body's feeling really broken and it feels like it just hurts, then don't do that session at that intensity. You can, by all means, you can still train if you are pain-free. You can do something else instead. So if you have pain while you're running, for example, then you might be able to swim without pain, in which case do that for a little while you're unraveling the problem, then you can go back to what you were doing before, and obviously keep that pain-free as you go through. So yes is the answer to that one. Do you need to know the name of my injury? No. Okay? If I am talking to another professional about injuries, then I can use a name like plantar fasciitis and everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. But in order to fix the problem, all I need to know is that somewhere something is stuck. Okay? So there's a joint in your body that doesn't move. There may be multiple joints in your body that don't move. You don't need to know the names of those joints, you just need to find the tightness, okay? And there's only you can find that for you, which is why you do a lot of this stuff for yourself, okay? I could give you some signposts, and basically that's what these wiggling moves are. They're just signposts, and I always encourage you to investigate your own bodies and investigate your own tightnesses by moving in loads of different ways, because there's only you will know where your body is stuck. Okay, so you'll notice whether it doesn't move one way, or it just feels a bit sore, or there's a bit of stretch or something like that. Only you will know that. So you don't need to know the names of the joints, you don't need to know the names of the conditions, because these things are temporary and ultimately all they're describing is how something is sore. Okay, if you have plantar fasciitis, pain is in the sole of your foot. If you have Achilles tendonitis, the pain is in your Achilles. Okay, if you have shin splints, the pain is in your shin. It's just describing where the pain is. Okay, so all you need to know is where your body is stuck, and then we can figure out how to unravel it. Next question, will taping help? Meh, sometimes. Okay, taping can offer some support to the problem that you're having. It can encourage your muscles to rest, so they're not doing as much, but it doesn't really teach your brain anything. So I would definitely use it as a temporary help for a very, very painful injury, but longer term, no. You need to know far too much about how to tape properly, and obviously you need to keep buying the tape. All right, it's not teaching your brain anything, it's not teaching your body anything, apart from don't move that way. So if you're restricting how your body will move, it's only good to restrict that very temporarily so that you can get on top of the pain and then start dealing with the problem a little bit more effectively. Okay? Should I get a professional assessment? Well, it's up to you. A professional assessment, physio, osteopath, chiropractor, anybody like that will tell you what's going on with your body, where it doesn't move, what they think is the problem, and that information is very, very useful. You can use that information then to start directing where you'll start to wiggle from, okay? So if your physio, for example, has said that your hip is too high on one side, it doesn't move on one side, then you know that that's the area that you can start working on, and that will help you to shortcut all of your wiggling needs, okay? So rather than thinking, oh, I don't know where to start from, I'll just start anywhere, then you can pinpoint your problems if you've had a professional assessment, okay? So those are some questions for today. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to get an assessment, if you want me to assess your movement, you can do that at assessmymovement.com. Remember, it's all online, so you don't need to wait for any appointments or anything like that. We can just crack on with it, okay? And if you missed this show live and you want to watch the replay, you can do that and a whole lot more stuff if you join our little Wiggle community at wigglewithme.com, or you can catch all the replays at wigglechannel.com, which is my YouTube channel. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you again live next Thursday at 1 PM UK time. See you then.